Past tense, part 1. 2 types of past tense. Now, the whole purpose of Spanish 1, at least at our school, was to understand present tense. I speak, you speak, we eat, they eat. And the whole purpose of Spanish 2, at our school at least, is to understand past tense. Now, guys and girls, please understand, past tense is difficult. Okay? There are lots of irregular ones, there are lots of tricky ones. In fact, in my humble opinion, the greatest challenge in Spanish 2 is understanding past tense. Alright? So, don't watch this one clip and think, oh, I now understand it. This is just the first step in a journey of 1,000 miles. Wow, that was deep. Alright. Now, when I tell you there are 2 ways to form the past tense, or there are 2 different types of past tense, some of you are going to think, duh. In Spanish, there are 2 ways to do anything. Think back. In Spanish 1, we said there are 2 words for you. There's tú, you, which is informal, and there's usted, you, which is formal. Now, when we first told you that, some of you were very distressed. But after a while, you came to understand, all right, if I'm using somebody's first name, I say tú, and if I'm using somebody's last name, I say usted. And so at first it seemed strange and difficult and mysterious, but now you guys do it basically without even thinking about it. ¿Cómo estás tú? How are you, friend? ¿Cómo está usted? How are you, sir? Then a little later in Spanish, when we said, by the way, there are 2 different ways to say to be. And we taught you a couple chants. We said, is, am, are. You must use ser or a star. Is, am, are. We must use ser or a star. And then you started understanding that you ser most of the time for date, for time, for physical description, for jobs, personality, possession, familial status, all those things. And you used a star basically for just 2 times, location and feeling. Excuse me. And I told you a chant. I said, location and feeling are always a star, but everything else is ser. Location and feeling is always a star, but everything else is ser. Then I tried another one. I said, how you're feeling, where you are, you have to use the verb as star. How you're feeling, where you are, you have to use the verb as star. So again, when we first said, ser and a star both mean to be. They both mean is, am, are. It seemed very, very strange and hard and mysterious. But nowadays, you guys got it. Yo soy un chico. I'm a boy. Yo estoy muy feliz. You do it basically without thinking. Here's the good news. I'm going to show you 2 types of past tense, all right? And at first it's going to seem strange and mysterious, but after a while it's going to be very, very easy for you. All right, don't panic. Everybody, don't panic. Preterite is one type of past tense. Preterite means it happened one time in the past. Everybody say that. Preterite means it happened one time in the past. Like on June 3rd, I broke my foot. He lost his car keys yesterday. She waved at me while she was crossing the street yesterday. Last month, I had taco salad at a really nice restaurant with my wife. All of those would be preterite. Now, imperfect is another form of past tense, and to remember that one, I'm going to have you remember a statement. Imperfect is the past tense we adore. Everybody. Imperfect is the past tense we adore. If adore is spelled A-D-O-R-E, you use imperfect if you're talking about age or appearance in the past. She was really old. He was tall. She was short. The house was green. All that would be imperfect past. D in adore stands for describe. If you're describing date, time, or weather in the past, it's going to be imperfect. It was the 3rd of June. It was 4 o'clock. It was a dark and stormy night. All that you'd use in perfect past. O stands for ongoing in the past. I was eating. She was talking. We were studying. Anytime you see ing in the past tense, you're going to use the imperfect past. R stands for repeated. It happened lots of times in the past. She always laughed at his jokes. I always studied for quizzes. I wish that were true for everyone. It was always hot in my grandmother's house. And E stands for this. Every time we can't logically say one time in the past. Remember with ser and a star. Ser is your default. You mostly use ser. You only use a star basically for location and feeling. Please understand this. In the past tense is imperfect. Past tense is imperfect. If you have to guess imperfect. You only use preterite when you can logically say it happened one time and one time only. So again, 2 types of past tense. One's called preterite, It means it happened one time, and one's called imperfect. Imperfect is the one we adore. We use imperfect for age or appearance, describing date, time, or weather, for ongoing things in the past, for repeated things in the past, and basically we use the imperfect past every time we can't logically say just one time in the past. Again, don't panic. This is hard. It's going to take time, but this is the first step. So this is part one of a multi-part series I'm calling Past Tense. Good luck.